how's it going? It's Brittany here from Mobile Advance again, and today we're going to be going over the sleek aluminum and copper Republic of Gamers GTX 10 series from ASUS, so let's get right into it.
As we all know, ASUS makes some of the best 17-inch gaming laptops out there. The G752 10 series is no exception. ASUS has aimed for desktop GTX 1070 performance in a laptop. Let's see if they live up to those big expectations. I've seen a lot of complaints online about gaming laptops looking tacky, but I think the ASUS G752 clearly stands out from the pack. It's super sleek with an armored titanium and plasma copper color scheme. The top panel is a brushed aluminum and the rest of the build is made out of a complementary brushed plastic in the same titanium color. The top has the iconic ROG logo with the plasma copper side details, which all have backlight capabilities. The hinge mechanism is very smooth, but what is unfortunate is that the speakers are placed directly behind the screen, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. This is my personal everyday laptop, and I love this keyboard with the rubber textured keys and mat. ASUS has now implemented anti-ghosting keys, so all of your key commands are instantaneously and correctly interpreted. If you're familiar with any of the other ROG laptops, then you'll see the continued use of their signature chiclet-style keys and backlighting. But to be honest, I think the plasma copper color would have been a nice alternative. The touchpad is okay in my opinion. It uses the native window drivers, so the gestures are quickly picked up, but I found it to be a little too sensitive for my liking. Since I mostly use my G752 for gaming and editing, the ROG GX950 gaming mouse solves that issue for me, so the sensitivity isn't a deal breaker. ASUS has also added 5 macro keys and a dedicated screencast key that automatically broadcasts to popular streaming platforms via XSplit. There is a little flex in the keyboard frame, which can be expected from a 17-inch laptop, but isn't distracting. The ASUS G752 comes with a 1920 by 1080p display. It has a matte finish IPS screen, great color accuracy and contrast, and it's perfect for gaming and editing. The G752 screen has G-Sync. For those of you that haven't experienced the wonderful world of G-Sync, it reduces visual stuttering and tearing. So when G-Sync is enabled, the refresh rate will cap at 75 MHz. Let's touch base back to the audio. As I said before, the speakers are placed behind the screen, so the sound can get loud, but can be a bit muffled due to the fan noise and placement. Most of you will probably be gaming with this monster, so you'll most likely never even notice this with a headset on. Now that we've covered all of the basic look and function of the ASUS G752, I need to mention that it comes in a few configurations. First, the G752 VS and the G752 VS Overclock Edition. The biggest differences between the two come down to storage, RAM, and the processor. The standard G752 comes with only 1TB hard drive, 16GB DDR4, and the Intel i7-6700HQ CPU, whereas the Overclock Edition has the Intel i7-6820HK CPU, 32 or 64GB 2400 MHz RAM, 256 or 512GB PCIe NVMe solid-state models. Last but not least is the G752 VM, which is identical to the standard G752 VS, except a little thinner and a GTX 1060. All of the G752 series come with one HDMI port, one mini display port, 4 USB 3s, one USB Type-C Lightning Bolt compatible, and individual audio and mic jacks. All of these models sport the Pascal architecture. That delivers game-changing innovations, including next-gen VR that is smooth, low latency, and stutter-free with the best energy efficiency. The 3D Mobile Vapor Chamber provides cooling without compromise, and this keeps these 10 series laptops running full throttle without any excess heat or throttling. So let's talk performance. The G752 has an NVIDIA GTX 1070, so gaming is practically flawless. Running most games at 1080p is great. Games like Overwatch, Black Ops, Doom can hit about 100 FPS at max graphics. Even The Witcher 3 gets about 60. So let's run down the great qualities of the G752. It has a 17-inch 1920 by 1080 Full HD IPS with G-Sync screen, 256GB NVMe PCIe solid-state drive, and 1TB hard drive, GeForce GTX 1070, 8GB GDDR5 that's VR ready, Intel i7-6820HK CPU, 32GB DDR4, 2400 MHz upgradable RAM. So I would say that Asus has definitely hit the mark with the G752 10 series laptops. They perform almost as good as the desktop GTX 1070 with as much portability as you can get with a heavy-duty gaming laptop. So if that's what you're into, I would pick it up.
So that's it on the Republic of Gamers GTX 10 series from Asus. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like or subscribe to see more videos from us every week. And don't forget to check out our website, mobileadvance.com, for all of your ROG gaming gear and our unbeatable laptop deals. We'll see you then.